Hey, can you offer a kind word, a helping hand, or a hot can of whoop ass? Are you so nice it's kind of a little off-putting?
Oh my god, I'm feeling it. I'm gonna breakdance. Woo! Hey!
Well, congratulations! You might be a devotion paladin. But what is a devotion paladin? Well, pack up your live, laugh, love frame, make sure to awkwardly and intensely pray for every party member's mildest inconveniences, and don't forget to grab your holiest boots, because we're walking on sunshine. Whoa! The Oath of Devotion Paladin, the goodiest good boy to ever do good. A pure beacon of excellent vibes and that golden retriever energy we've all come to love. In a world where zombies and demons are real and armchairs sometimes randomly spring to life, having one of these guys around is always a welcome sight. And while other paladins like to lean into a little more edge and a little less lord, your tenets inspire you to be kind to those who deserve it, not to lie or cheat to get ahead, and to do the most amount of good while doing the least amount of harm. And while this can sometimes make a devotion paladin come off as a little lawful stupid, it's refreshing in a game of chaotic neutral chaos monkeys to have at least one adult in the room. But this paladin is that one guy you know who's constantly in a good mood, no matter the circumstances, or the lone dude clapping when the pilot lands the plane. You know, wholesome sweet boy energy, basically Winnie the Pooh in plate mail.
When I up, down, touch the ground, it puts me in the mood. Up, down, touch the ground, in the mood for food.
You are a holy warrior, a knight in shining armor, and while some may scoff at your ideals or think your lofty values are naive and pretentious, when the chips are down, it's up to us to prove that nice guys do not finish last. But first, do you want to add a little cuteness to your clacky math rocks? Are you looking to put some kawaii into your D&D? Well, then you need to check out Fruit Meadows milk cartons from 1985 Games. These adorable dice sets come in these super cute individual milk cartons with your very own little cat cutie right inside. Listen, I'm a 6 foot tall, large, bearded, grown-ass man, but I'd be lying if my cold heart didn't melt just a little bit of those pretty little kitty faces. Look how sweet. Pick your new kitty best friend, whether it's Ollie Orange, Poppy Peach, or my favorite, the mischievous Boss Blackberry, or take home everyone. How could you resist? Each box comes with a set of themed dice, a sticker of your new bunny, and a pin of the pretty kitty. And all of this makes the perfect gift for you or a dice goblin you love. So what are you waiting for? Hit the link right here in the description and support the Kickstarter for Fruit Meadows milk cartons today. And don't forget to tell them Yimba sent you. A huge thanks once again to Fruit Meadows and 1985 Games for sponsoring the show. And now, back to the video. So maybe you want to become the world's biggest bro and learn the ways of killing with kindness. And swords. Well, the fastest way to do that is as a paladin. Paladins naturally aren't huge fans of bullies and will step into conflict in order to protect the weak. So when we need to pick out bad guys in a crowd, we'll rely on our divine sense. This will let us turn on our best bud radar and detect any celestial fiends or undead within a 60-foot radius, so we can always tell who is Cap and who is fam. You don't have to say anything, I hated that as much as you did. But if our party of perfect pals needs a pick-me-up, you can perform a lay on hands. Basically a pool of hit points equal to 5 times your paladin level, ready for you to dole out in any amount you want. Also, if a friend has a tummy ache, you can spend 5 points to cure any disease or neutralize a poison that's ailing them, letting you get the bard back on their feet after a heavy night of drinking, or patch up wounds with the unadulterated power of friendship. But unfortunately, every situation can't be solved with good vibes alone. So when the butt kicking needs to happen, we'll be ready with a fighting style. And paladins do great with just about any fighting style, like dueling or great weapon fighting for an offensive build, but if you're looking to protect your friends or wall off enemies, defense, protection, and interception are the way to go. We'll also get a little spellcasting, whatever that is, to act as a conduit for your... Nah, I'm just kidding. We can smite! Smiting is what happens when you funnel all that holy wholesomeness into one devastating blow, letting you add 2d8 to any weapon attack you land by spending a spell slot, and increasing that damage by another d8 for each one higher for a maximum of 5d8. But it seems like the only thing we hate is a real meanie, so each smite will also do an additional d8 to fiends or undead for a max of 6d8 per righteous smite. Divine Health at 3rd level will make us completely immune to disease. Turns out our big beautiful smile is enough to scare away cholera. But since you asked so nicely, I guess I will talk about a spell or two. Upon fully taking up our oath, our kindly cavalier gets a few spells to help them protect their friends and allies. Spells like Protection from Good and Evil, which lets you concentrate on a willing creature you touch and protect that ally from anything like aberrations, celestials, elementals, fays, fiends, and undead, as well as Sanctuary, a spell that lets you ward a creature as a bonus action, so any attacker that targets them must pass a wisdom saving throw. On a fail, the creature cannot attack the ally at all and must lose the attack or choose another target. And the only way they lose Sanctuary is if they make an attack themselves. Incredible spells for protecting the innocent and directing all that incoming damage to yourself instead. But don't worry, we can still beat these baddies with a smile. And a we'll also harness our divine do-gooder intensity to grab some channel divinity. This will give us Sacred Weapon to spend an action to light up our sword with some holy moly magical might to shed beaming bright light in a 20-foot radius, as well as add your charisma modifier to all attack rolls made with that weapon for a minute. Or we can turn the unholy, which is pretty much the same as turn undead but also includes fiends, to make either of those ugly fudgers run as far away as they can from you for a minute. Or you can finish them off with a divine attack. Gotcha, didn't I? Anyway, that will bring us to Harness Divine Power, where we can by bringing back missing spell slots by using a bonus action and a channel divinity. 5th level gets us that awesome extra attack so we can swing our swords more often, but we'll also get 2 new spells with Lesser Restoration and Zone of Truth. Lesser Restoration lets us cover more bases and cure afflictions like blindness, deafness, or paralysis, and Zone of Truth is a fun out-of-combat spell, forcing any creature, including yourself, to be unable to lie if they fail the wisdom saving throw. Now, we never clearly have to worry about that, we would never lie, but it could be a good way to see if it was the rogue or the barbarian who put your codpiece on the roof again. But even if they act up, we still love those mischievous little scamps. So we'll give them a boost at 6th level with the Aura of Protection, giving each creature within 10 feet of you a bonus to their saving throws equal to your Charisma modifier, and hell, we're feeling generous. How about another boost at level 7 with the Aura of Devotion so they also can't be charmed within that same aura. 9th level means 2 more spells, and Beacon of Hope is the perfect defensive spell for keeping the party on their feet, giving all creatures within 30 feet of you advantage on wisdom and death saves, as well as regaining the max amount of hit points from any healing, whether that's a cleric's cure wounds or a healing potion, as well as Dispel Magic, another good defensive spell, letting you end a magical spell or effect on a creature or magic item within 120 feet of you and ending its effect. Great for getting a buddy out of a daze from a nasty hypnotic pattern, or turning off the winged boots of an archenemy and squashing them as they hit the ground.
How f***ing elaborate do we have to make this fight? Get down here!
10th level means more auras, and the Aura of Courage makes sure any ally within your 10-foot aura can no longer be frightened. Amazing for giving that pep talk everyone occasionally needs. Improved Divine Smite at level 11 for an extra 1d8 of radiant damage on every attack, and 2 more Paladin spells when we get to level 13 for Freedom of Movement, letting any creature you touch magically escape grapples or handcuffs with only 5 feet of movement, and they cannot be slowed by difficult terrain or the effects of paralysis or restraints. And Guardian of Faith to set an 8-hour Guardian that attacks any hostile creature within 10 feet of it, dealing 20 straight radiant damage if a creature fails a dex save or half as much on a fail. A great spell to cast when trying to protect a point or sit an innocent civilian inside the Guardian's range while you and it take care of baddies with simultaneous support. 14th level means we'll get the Cleansing Touch to end the effect of a spell on yourself or a willing creature, basically a free Dispel Magic on your friends a number of times equal to your Charisma modifier, and 15th level will give our Glad Gallant Guardian a Purity of Spirit to permanently be under the effects of Protection from Good and Evil without having to cast it on yourself. A wild ability for planes-hopping adventures, basically guaranteeing all these creatures will have disadvantage to hit you, and with your high AC anyway, just remember to smile when they bounce off your breastplate. But our 2 final devotion spells are here, and Commune is a nifty little spell that lets you ask your god, if you have one, 3 questions to which they'll have to answer honestly yes, no, or ask again later. And Flame Strike, which is fine. Normally I'd complain that this spell is 2 levels higher than Fireball and weirdly does the same damage in a weirder, harder to use shape, but for some reason I'm feeling good today. Maybe the vibes are rubbing off on me. But we'll wrap up this pleasant pally by making them a true white knight. At level 20, our devotion pally can take on the form of a Holy Nimbus, letting you emit an aura of sunlight that shines bright on a 30-foot radius and dim light for an extra 30 beyond that, and any creature you choose that starts their turn within the the light takes a straight 10 damage. Damn. In addition, you also have advantage on any saving throws against spells cast by fiends and the undead, so no devil or Vecna wannabe is gonna get the drop on you. So lead the charge in a fierce battle, protect your friends and the innocent alike, and shine bright as you lay down a devastating But does the Devotion Paladin make my day? In many ways, the Oath of Devotion is the Paladin's Paladin. I think this is the subclass most people think about when somebody says they're about to pick up the class, and that can be a really great jumping off point for players new to the class or new to D&D in general. And for the most part, it lives up to the hype. You have good options for attack and defense, and when it comes to selflessly protecting others, you have a huge range of options from auras and a tight spell list. My only real complaint with the Devotion Paladin is the same thing that plagues a lot of older classes, and the PHB effect is pretty apparent here. If you're someone who appreciates power in your play, you could start to feel left behind by some of the newer classes and subclasses. But in my opinion, Paladin is so good anyway, it won't be by much. And while there are quote-unquote better subclasses out there, I'd be hard-pressed to find one that gives you this much sweet fella flavor in one place. So much so I don't think you'd ever really need to multi-class, but if you wanted to, options like the Champion Fighter or the Hexblade Warlock give you a ton of options and flavor to play around with. But in all, I can't gripe that much. The Oath of Devotion Paladin does what it sets out to do, and I think fairly well. But luckily for us, they have updated this subclass in the D&D 2024 stuff, so I'll probably be revisiting that very soon. Trust me, we're gonna get there. I've gotten your letters. But if you're tired of the edgelords, the weebs, and the dark brooding backstories and just want to play someone decent, you can look no further. So if you're a nice guy without being a nice guy, you can lay the sweetest smack down anyone ever did see and have a house full of puppies because the adoption center keeps tricking you with those commercials of the dogs with the really sad eyes. Guess what? You might be a Devotion Paladin. Hey guys, as always, I can't thank you enough for watching. I yammered on a lot about the importance of being nice in this video, and I think y'all get it, so maybe I'll tell you a story about me being me. My first ever job was at the good old Mickey D's, and I worked with a friend that I also happened to go to school with, so we knew each other pretty well. Well, often he would work the grill behind me while I worked the register, and we knew each other well enough to pull pranks on mean customers. So when someone came in with attitude, which happened a lot, I wouldn't say anything, but I would turn around to my buddy and rub my nose like a baseball coach calling out a play and turn right back around. My friend would do the same thing back and then go right back to making their food, and that was it. He wouldn't do anything to it, but that got him acting correct real fast. Maybe kind of mean, but hey, they did start it. That's the quote for this week. Be nice to the people who mess with your food, okay? But if you guys like what I do, you can support the channel for just $1 and get your name up here like these beautiful people with top-tiered subscribers getting games DM'd by me. So for those great guys, Tedsy, Saurus, and King Osire, Smiles Not Yards, and Spider Lover, you all are the best. And for everyone else, come check out the Discord. We're always having fun over there. Alright guys, take it easy, have a great day, and I'll see you very soon.